A quiet corner of a park in northwest London and a war memorial. It commemorates those who died in captivity in the world wars. Like many others up and down the country, it's in less than perfect condition. We invited veterans of the Burma Star Association to visit and pay their respects. One of them, Charles Peel, was a prisoner of war, captured by the Japanese. We discovered the gate was locked. Because of vandalism, the local council will only open it for special services.
If they left it open all day and all night, I think perhaps it would be worse than it is now. It saddens me rather than disappointed, because I've seen it all before. But it saddens me to feel that it is neglected somewhat.
He believes his comrades who perished so far from home deserve better. And though their names were supposed to live forevermore, some have literally been thrown on the scrap heap. Ron Powell from Bournemouth found this memorial plaque with names of the fallen from World War I, covered in dirt and on sale as scrap. He bought it, took it home and restored it.
I think it's despicable that people are doing these things today, and I hope that the government does something about it sooner than later, because each day we're losing our heritage.
But this, the most famous of them all, the cenotaph, the nation remembers year after year. The campaign to preserve lesser-known war memorials is backed by the Queen Mother, as well as the Royal British Legion. And now the campaign has reached Parliament. The issue set to be raised on the floor of the Commons next month. At present, local authorities are not legally required to maintain their war memorials. Some MPs believe that should be changed. The former Home Office Minister David McLean is working on a bill which he hopes might clarify the legal position.
There is a lot of existing legislation, War Memorials Act, amended over the years, which puts obligations on the churches to make sure that any war memorials in them are treated properly if the church becomes redundant. But we do seem to have some loopholes in it. And there does seem to be loopholes as well in local authority legislation, which gives them a power to upkeep war memorials, but not a duty.
Campaigners hope the government will support a parliamentary bill. For Charles Peel and his pals, it can come not a moment too soon, as they strive to honour the famous pledge. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. Hugh Pym, ITN, North London.
John Glenn was the first American to orbit the Earth 36 years ago, and he's now set to make another piece of history. Later today, NASA is expected to confirm that the 76-year-old astronaut turned senator will be boarding the Space Shuttle Discovery in October for a 10-day research mission. It was in February 1962 that he made his first historic space flight and became one of America's greatest heroes. His new mission will make him the oldest person ever to go into space. Well, our science editor Lawrence McGinty joins me now. I suppose it's one question really, is he too old for this?
Well, he's very fit, he trains, he lifts weights, he has an annual medical check, which is an advantage not just to prove that he's fit, but also if he goes into space, they'll be doing experiments to see the effects of weightlessness on aging. And the fact that he's had an annual medical gives them a baseline to make measurements. For example, when you go into space, your bones get thinner, just as they do when you get old. So it'll be interesting to see what the two effects are. So I think there is a scientific rationale behind this mission, and there's no age limit on astronauts. You need someone old to test the effects of weightlessness on the elderly. But on the other hand, if this was plain old John Glenn, retired accountant from Kalamazoo, I'm sure NASA wouldn't be giving him a ride.
What about his sort of speed of reaction and things like that, his mental faculties? Are they likely to be all right for this kind of thing?
Well, he's survived quite well in the Senate, and it's said in the States that President Clinton is almost paying a debt for some of the astute political manoeuvring that Senator Glenn's been doing in hearings recently. So he's clearly kept all his sharpness about him.
His version of the gold watch. Thanks very much, Lawrence.
Now, while we've been on the air, a jury at Newcastle